feeling like I'm Akademiks.
So, Empress, keep it G, you got a question? Somebody asked me about the bots.
Oh, my
Black.
bad. My bad. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Go get your
Hey,
question.
what's up? What's up, Act? This Keep It G Crash Out Squad. Uh, what did you think when you saw the clip of Wack almost knocking out Flakko, bro?
Well, now, no, I understood completely what Wack was saying. Also, I'm like, man, this nigga Wack not even lacking on camera. Like, god damn it, my nigga, relax. The third of all, I think Flacco will realize, and that's why I said, like, I have a lot of grace for people who's newer in the media side of shit, because what Wack was saying probably went over his head, because he don't realize, like, he's only thinking numbers right now. Okay, well, this makes sense in terms of interactions. But what Wack was saying is that, yo, when you're doing this, this is how it's coming across, and that's the bigger picture of it. And Flacco was just using a micro conversation. Well, you know what I mean? Well, to keep it real, it's not my platform. It's no. But you know what you're doing, right? And obviously, I think Wack got just frustrated. But I think Flacco's a little bit like me. I don't think Flacco means to do shit intentionally to get people hemmed up. But I do think most of his moves is driven by what would be possible growth. Now he gonna grow out of that, and it is gonna take situations like, with Wack for him to realize, like, yo, it's having a bigger effect, because anytime somebody's driven only by the growth of numbers, you're gonna go down a really dark path. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna realize that your content, or whatever you call content, it's affecting other people's lives, people getting fucked up, or other shit happening. Until you see that happening, you're not gonna realize. So I think Wack was checking him. I don't think Wack was about to knock him out, because Wack's also a composed motherfucker, man. Like, Wack's not a crash out dummy.
I didn't go to do nothing to the dude. I lied to my homies and told him wasn't on no jumper that day, because they was on some other shit on site with him. And I understand dude from North Dakota. I know what he trying to do, but I'm telling him longevity equals success. You keep fucking around, you not gonna even see it coming. It's a different jungle out here, and there's a lot of people. Fuck this no jumper build. This ain't the streets. It's a bunch of niggas running around, and if they see your ass at a car wash, a gas station, walking around the mall, they not gonna say nothing because of the shit you done said. They taking it some kind of way. So I'm trying to help him, because he really don't mean no harm, but he playing it a little bit too close in the wrong joint.
Hey, and that's why it brings me to my next 2 points, right? I think, I know a lot of people look what I've done and probably look the path I've taken. And because I'm now at the point I'm at, I could be very open and honest. And, like, even say with Flacco, and Flacco might be like, well, I'm being edgy. I'm kind of putting it out there a bit. Well, AQ kind of did the same with, hey, listen, I was born in Jamaica. I've always lived in Jersey. I am not from Chicago, and I've never been. There was always a level of safety with me doing the content. I was not walking around O Block, them knowing who I am, and me making that content, and me saying, oh, well, everything is cool. Rest in peace to Zach TV. Shit could always go left. I do think that the way that Flacco moves in LA, he has to understand that thing. If you want to go cover LA culture, go back to North Dakota. If you ask me,
that's a fact.
Where you have some level of distance and safety, because now when you're walking around, it's like you're thumbing your nose at some of the people or some of the things that, again, I understand his perspective, where he might be like, well, that shouldn't be disrespectful. No, but it is to some people. To you, it ain't, but to them, it is. And he has to be aware of that, right? So that's number one, where he has to know what and by the way, here's my thing too. I don't think Flacco cares that much about some of the stuff he's covering as opposed to the interaction. That's why I'm like, yo, listen, there's other ways to do it. And that's what I was saying. I've always told Flacco, I'm like, yo, Flacco, if you want to come out here and work, again, we're not really doing like, oh, let's cover West Coast gangs, but it would probably behoove you to not be in the middle of the madness and covering the middle of the madness. You come out here, you listen, we have a good time talking about hip hop, this and third. You're not gonna get your head knocked off. But I think also for him, I think it's a proving ground for him. I think he's looking at like, I'm gonna show niggas that I can survive, which, you know what I mean? You know, even no matter what you think about people like me and Flacco, like at the end of the day, you realize you can't be a punk, right? So like you're not gonna just completely fold or whatever, but you also don't want to be stupid. And I think that's where Flacco just has to realize, like,
I think being smart and being smart get you respected. Because if you smart, you know the disrespectful shit not to do. And I'm really trying to tell dude, I'm like, Flacco, boy, them motherfuckers are Voltron on your ass, boy, overnight. You get all the tribes saying, yo, this dude down there clowning, he's saying shit, doing shit, he gotta go. And the problem with Flacco is the calls are starting to come from the penitentiary. And that penitentiary is what make these streets move. And I don't think he'll never understand that, because ain't none of them niggas in that building from that. And I'm like, Flacco, you prison calls are coming out here about what's up with dude. Like, why y'all letting dude get away with what he doing? And in a minute, 5 or 10 of them niggas gonna got leaving that hard. And they're, you know what I'm saying? So I like Flacco. He all right with me, but he gotta tone that shit down.
Yo, Act, speaking of Flacco, what did you feel about that, him running up on MJTV up at No Jumper? You feel like that was a play, or how you feel about that situation?
I don't think that was a play. That was the most likely scenario. You see, when niggas play with you, you know you got to make an example. Even the most pussiest nigga know that. And again, I love to say that people like me and Flacco ain't gangsters and we civilians, but also we calculated too. I think Flacco knew I'm a big ass nigga. That's that skinny nigga. He probably up there by himself. I could get my, again, this is the thing when I even challenge Meek Mill to a boxing match. Even if Meek beat my ass, ain't nothing wrong with it, because he's supposed to. Like, I got nothing to lose. He got his own everything to lose, right? So it's like, with that situation, I think Flacco kind of carefully realized, okay, this dude probably not up there with mad gang niggas who's going to do nothing to me. It's just him. I could flash out on him. He really at my home base, because that's where I work. And I thought it looked good for Flacco. You just got to be careful, because the moment you show that, then other people are going to be like, well, do it with me. So you just got to be careful with that. You know, I also say to him, or not say to him, but like I'll give an example of, you know, where I was at, and I mentioned, I think I said to Wack, I was like, yo, I don't know if he's being protected by certain people. When I was starting to do rap commentary, I remember who did I get hit up by? I think I got hit up by I think it was Blue Da Vinci from BMF. And, you know, mad niggas was like, yo, when we see this nigga, we gonna slap him, we gonna do this, and blah, blah, blah. And they gave me an interesting proposal, pretty much. It was just like, yo, check this out. All these niggas who's talking shit about you, this and third, we gonna hold you down. Ain't no nigga gonna do nothing to you. And matter of fact, any nigga who even act like they gonna do nothing to you, we gonna handle for you, right? You fuck with us, you help us do blah, blah, blah. And I remember specifically, like, I was just like, you know, y'all seem cool this and third, but I didn't want to get involved with that. The reason being is this. Once you start getting to that game, and now people is, you know, getting people touched on your behalf and whatever, even if you the guy who not like that, you still involved. And there's going to be blood on your hands. So it's like, me, I just like to, you know, I always play defense, but I stay out of it. You know what I mean? And again, I only say that because I've never been cool with the, yo, all right, well, get down with these people and they'll protect you. But if I was Flacco, I think that's the only way to, like, I don't know how Flacco's been surviving in LA. You know what I mean?
Flacco has be hiding. He been hiding, but they know where he at. And more than 5 occasions, I didn't have to tell him, "Look, just let me talk to him." But it's getting to a point to where you doing shit or people are using him. In that situation, they used him knowing Flacco wasn't going to understand the lingo of what was being said, and motherfuckers was triggered. They like, Wack, you didn't stop you. Now you got a motherfucker up there. He disrespected our neighborhood. We got to holler at him. It's him. And Adam's whole disposition is, hey, Flacco's Flacco. Shit, he did it. Talk to Flacco. One thing about Adam, Adam don't give a fuck, bro. Whatever you do, you do. He ain't trying to save nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure everything's gonna be. Listen, if I think I know Flacco, I think Flacco is gonna do what he got to do in LA, and when he gets to a certain point, he's gonna realize, get the fuck out of there.
Hey, yo, the new streamers is asking me, what's your advice on what platforms to use?
Stream on every platform if you can. Obviously, if you're a very small streamer, you don't have any footprint anywhere. You kind of want to. The whole thing is about building an audience. So, for example, I would say to every streamer, stream everywhere. However, though, say you're big on Twitter or you're big on, you know, say Clubhouse or you're big on maybe just YouTube. Start with those platforms, and then that's how I did. I started with YouTube, and I said, listen, I know maybe only 10% or 15% will go over to the other platform, but then start moving it. You have an audience when you could move them to a different platform. You don't have an audience when you're just a convenient person they watch because they're already watching that. So that's when you start moving your audience a bit, you know what I mean? And then ultimately you want to, these days these companies want to play all type of games with us now, all right, we'll only be over here. Well, we got to think of ourselves like brands and conglomerates and media empires as well. So we all should be streaming or trying to give our content out to everybody who could get it. So whether you're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google, whether you are on Pandora, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter Spaces, whether you on Clubhouse, you want everybody to get a chance, because at the end of the day, as a streamer, you should think of, even as a creator, you should think of yourself as, okay, how could I just keep building my audience, right? And you don't want to play the games like if I never got paid handsomely by Spotify, I would have never went to do a podcast that only came out on one platform. That didn't help me. It forced a segment of the population only to go there, right? It helped them. So again, you just want to build an audience, but my thing is utilize whatever you got going on, and always remember that when you're on these platforms, and I look at so many people who are on Twitter and all they do is talk shit, and they like talking shit, but for them it's like, oh yeah, I triggered this person and they responded, and they never even stop to think, let me try to make this something that I could possibly get into or make some money off of it. You know what I mean? Social media is too much of a time waster for people that's punching the clock versus them using social media as a way to try to build something. So once you start looking at it with that type of angle, you can still have fun on social media, but you always be thinking about building an audience. Whatever. And by the way, audience, it doesn't mean you have to be a broadcaster or a streamer. You could be somebody who sell hair products. You sell hair, and you're like, shit, all right, I like talking shit about A, B, or C on Twitter. You should think about, rather than just talking shit, okay, that's the content I'm given to bring in people here, but I need to funnel it to this potential business I got going on, right? I think that's the best way to do it.
So,
Yo, Act, I see you. Yo, Act, these bots, they saying motherfucking Meg had 30 million bots?
Yeah, I don't even want to pick.
That's 20,000 albums.
Yeah, I don't even want to pick on Meg with it because
I ain't picking on it. I'm saying, here go the problem. Did Spotify release that, or where did that come from?
So the reason why people deem them to be bots is that, Spotify. Here's the thing: Spotify isn't going to communicate publicly about that. What This is the protocol from what I understand when it comes to Spotify. When Spotify realizes that artist is botting, they're gonna hit the team up and say, "Hey, listen, we see a bunch of streams that came from this week. We think that they're not legitimate. We're going to go through an audit. Hey, we want to warn you that if you guys are doing anything with it or you're manipulating it, this could become a penalty or whatever." Now, granted, they're not going to penalize these people because it's kind of hard to prove who the hell is doing it, right? Like some of these the bot situations, all you need is money. You don't even need to have a login, so people could be doing it, whatever. So again, when an artist goes overboard with a bot, you have Spotify kind of like look at these streams. Oh, they're all coming from Bangladesh. You know what I mean? From like only 1,000 devices that's in one town. Yeah, you're botting. You know what I mean? But they're not gonna penalize. They're not gonna penalize the artist like that. Here's the problem though, and this is why people
Yes,
talk.
they will. They
No,
for
no.
one, they ain't gonna pay. Two, they'll shut your shit down.
No, but hear what I'm saying. Like they're not gonna put it out there. So things happen. They don't put it out there. So what happened with Meg is they felt that one of the penalties was that the streams that were suspect didn't count for the global charts. So when you see a stream on Spotify, you don't know, like you don't know if it came from Sri Lanka or it came from Milwaukee, right? Now Billboard only cares what comes from the United States. So there's two categories: global and within the US. They're saying that they know that her shit was botted because even after, even if they're looking at global positioning, all her streams